A minute later, my phone buzzed with a text from Orlando asking if he should let some guy named Fabian in. I texted back a quick, absolutely not, with a brief explanation that we'd broken up and he wasn't welcome. Orlando replied with a thumbs up. I watched through the peephole as Orlando went back out and firmly told Fabian I didn't want to see him. Fabian's face changed. That fake, pleasant smile dropped instantly. He tried to argue, his voice getting louder. Orlando, who's like 6'4" and works out religiously, just crossed his arms and stared down at Fabian until he finally gave up and left. I texted Orlando a thank you with about 15 exclamation points. He responded that Fabian gave him bad vibes and to let him know if I needed anything. Note to self, bake Orlando some cookies as a proper thank you. That afternoon, I was on a Zoom call for work when my buzzer rang. The building has a camera system, so I checked the feed on my phone. It was Lydia, Fabian's mom, standing there with what looked like a gift basket. I ignored it. 5 minutes later, it rang again, and again, and again. Eventually, I pressed the talk button and asked what she wanted. She sounded sickeningly sweet as she said she just wanted to talk, woman to woman, that there had been a terrible misunderstanding, that Fabian was devastated. Couldn't I give him a chance to explain? I told her that I'd heard everything I needed to hear on that recording. She immediately switched tactics, her voice hardening as she asked if I understood that recording people without consent was illegal in our state, that they could press charges if they wanted to. I almost laughed. I told her to go ahead and try. The recording was made in their house during a dinner they had invited me to. I hadn't shared it publicly or used it for blackmail. I'd simply played it for my parents and a couple close friends to explain why I was ending the relationship. Then I hung up and watched through the security feed as she stood there for another 10 minutes before finally leaving the gift basket by the door and walking away. The building manager texted me later to say they'd removed an abandoned package from my doorway. I thanked them and asked them to throw it away. That evening, my dad called to check in. He tries to sound casual, but I can tell he's worried. He mentioned that Fabian had shown up at his office that day, asking to speak with him. Security had escorted him out, but not before he made a scene in the lobby, shouting that my dad had ruined his life and turned me against him.